Okay, recording. Okay, there's really only one triangle. However, in the worksheet, see how I wrote two of them? It's only for the labeling. Remember, just like in the reference triangles, your labeling is 90% of your success. Okay, you gotta label it right. If you label it right, then these will be beautiful, these ratios. Okay, no calculator today. I don't want to put it into a calculator. I don't want a decimal. I don't want it reduced. We're going to leave the fractions as is. Okay? I'm recording. Okay, so look, a little bit of background that you need to know. So look, sine, cosine, and tangent, your calculators, you're now going to start using these buttons starting tomorrow. They're sin, cos, tan, sine, cosine, and tangent. So it's a big day. All right, so sine is really S-I-N-E, cosine, tangent. Okay, sine, first letter is S, cosine, first letter is C, first letter is T. Okay, you need to know what OAH stands for. O is opposite side, A is adjacent side, H is hypotenuse side. So SOHCAHTOA, hugely popular by the way. It's an acronym. It's an acronym to help you, the student, know how to set up your proportion or your ratio. The first letter is the trig function, sine, cosine, tangent. The ratio, like numerator, denominator, that's the OA or AH or OH. And then the O and the A stand for this. In math, we love to abbreviate, okay? You guys are going to learn this. Even if you like refuse to, you're going to hear me say it so much, you're going to learn it. Okay. Move this, or does anyone still need it? So I can move it? Okay, so look. When you look at the big triangle M, the reason why it's circled is, look, I'm going to label here. By the way, I'm going to fill this out. So even though I'll work on white sheets of paper, I'm always going to come back to this. All right, so look. You're going to give me the 6 trig functions to this triangle. Notice angle M, 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 right? So angle M, here is angle M. So if you look at your triangle, O is the right angle, N is an acute angle, M is an acute angle, but this is M, M, M. So obviously I'm referring to that M angle. Is that fair? Okay, so look. When you look at the M, just a big one, you have to label your opposite adjacent hypotenuse. O and A are legs, H is your hypotenuse. Okay, so the H isn't the problem. H is always opposite the 90 degrees. So if this is your right angle, this is hypotenuse. How do you label the O and the H? The O is opposite. So if this is angle M, the leg opposite or the side opposite angle M is this one ON side. It's a side that doesn't touch the angle, that doesn't create it. Adjacent would be the 2 leg. So look, the person next to you is adjacent to you, or like your neighbor, like whoever lives next to you on your block, they are adjacent. Opposite is like the house across the street. Your house, your property line doesn't touch. So it's not shared. So this is O, this is A, and that is H. For enough, you have to get the OAH right, and then your ratios will fall into place. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so here's what you guys get. So sine of angle M, so if we were to write a lot, sine of angle M is equal to the ratio the leg opposite angle M over the side, the hypotenuse angle M. Now, that's a lot to write. So thus our acronym is sine of angle M is O over H, opposite over hypotenuse. So when you look at the triangle, it's 1 over rad 5. Okay. So if I come back here, so SOH, this is giving you your write-up. The trig function sine is set equal to the ratio opposite over hypotenuse. So if this is opposite adjacent hypotenuse, opposite O is 1, hypotenuse, right, OH, hypotenuse is rad 5. Okay, so if we were to look at cosine. Cosine then is cosine of angle M is this leg adjacent to angle M over the hypotenuse of angle M. That's A over H. We're just grabbing the first letter. And so that's 2 over rad 5. So even though you guys got SOHCAHTOA, which is really short, really abbreviated, yes, there's articulate math that's written out, but we go for the abbreviated. Okay, so if I look at my worksheet, cosine of angle M is CA over H. A is 2, H is rad 5. And then tangent, again, and you'll only see it written out like this until we do inverses. Okay, tangent of angle M is the leg opposite to angle M over the leg adjacent to angle M. What does that stand for? It's TOA. Tangent, opposite, adjacent. Adjacent, TOA. So what's O over A? 1/2. So TOA, O over A, 1/2. So your buy-in for SOHCAHTOA is just, it's the trig function, and the next 2 letters is the ratio of the triangle. But you got to label right. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. So now they switch the acute angle on us. This is now N, N, N. So focus on N and label according to N. So this side is now opposite, 1 is adjacent, and rad 5 is still hypotenuse. So SOHCAHTOA, S-O-H. OH is 2 over rad 5. Cosine is CAH. AH, 1 over rad 5. TOA, TOA, opposite, well, opposite adjacent, 2 over 1. So, get the label right. Easy peasy. Okay, does anyone see any pattern here?
Yes.
What's the pattern?
Like, so the pattern is, it goes like, so in the first one, let's do the one at the bottom, right? When I asked, it starts off at, it starts off at 1, it starts off at O and then A, and then O and then A. Second one, it's got to be ordered,
Yes. Matt, what was your word?
I said swapping.
Swap. How about we go flip? I was gonna spell flip. Flip.
Well, it's because like you swapped first M with the second M. Well, you
Here.
You swapped the 2 M's, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so he got it right. So the tangents are flipped or reciprocal of each other. And what Matt is saying, these two are switched. And so look, because what essentially happened, once we focused on the other acute angle, the opposite and the adjacent switched. So then cosine became sine and sine became cosine. And so because the O and the A switched, the tan to the tan N, they become the reciprocal of each other. Yeah? Okay, that's always the case. So if I want the 6 trig functions, once you find the first 3, you have the other 3. Okay, so let's look at the second one. All right, again, angle B, B, B. So here is B.
Wait, what does H stand for?
Hypotenuse. So this is O, A, H. So now look, if you guys have it down, so S-O-H. OH is 2 over rad 13. Isn't that what this one is then? Cosine B is CAH. Cosine trig function is set equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's 3 over rad 13. And that's what this one's going to be. And then TOA, the trig function tan, is opposite over adjacent 2/3. And so reciprocal it or flip it. Now, if you don't believe this, you're more than welcome to C. There's my OAH. And so SOH, 3 over rad 13, A over H, 2 over rad 13, OA, 3 halves. Okay, I'm going to shut the video off. I'll give you guys like 10 minutes. Some of you are going to finish in a minute. Do the other 2. I'll put the answers up, but that's all we're doing today. Just get the labeling down, and then I'll move to Canvas and I'll put up an announcement. I mean, I'm going to read stuff to you and I'll give you guys credit for stuff, but in terms of new material, we're going to stop here. This is always the case. This flip reciprocal. Always.
Wait, so is this always
No, hypotenuse is opposite the 90. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to shut the video recording off, all right, you guys? So it'll go blank, but as soon as it uploads it, I'll bring it back up, okay? Where's my mouse? There it is.